We're live. Welcome, everybody, to the CrossFire podcast. We are live. This is going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it more than you guys have any idea. This has been I think it's a podcast in the making. I'm not going to do traditional run-throughs and intros because there's just too many people on the show. I don't want to waste 20 minutes on that. But I want to go through real quick. We've got the one and only Crap Gamer back here, out of retirement already. Great to have him back here. Crap's back. J-Dub City is here. The one and only Zodfather, Next Gen 720, is stopping by and hanging out with us. Saltiest Gaming, The Don, and Xbot 448, and special guest. We got to get him back in here. I don't know how I lost him, but he will be joining us. The one and only Tim Dog. So listen, guys, this has been a ridiculous week. And I got to be honest with you, I feel like me and J-Dub are fighting another war all by ourselves. I literally feel like Jon Snow when he turns around with that sword and there's 7,000 people coming at him. And it's just like, all right, let's go for it. So Stadia's out, and a lot of you guys are not feeling Stadia.
It is. It's not, it came out.
It's out.
What's Stadia? What's that?
I'm playing it right now.
Now,
I'm not sure. Hey,
I'm gonna go.
You might be using too much bandwidth there, Jay. Careful now. Careful. We don't want that thing to drop to sub HD. Those are that wouldn't be good, man. We don't need that,
waiting
man.
for this. I can tell.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about it? I mean, honestly, God, no crap. I'll start with you, and then of course, I almost feel like it's going to be. It's not going to be. I may not defend this the way that you guys think I'm going to defend it. But at the same time,
does Mooch sound like he's hollering down from on high to you guys?
Oh, am I
he's
really?
Like, follow me to Stadia.
Mooch, you gotta hold the line with me.
I'm gonna hold the line. Does the mic not sound good, guys? I can try.
Now it sounds better. It was kind of echoey or whatever. So yeah.
Well, listen, Crap. What's your take on it? And then I want to
My take on it is that it's basically what I thought it was. There's always going to be people that are like you guys. You're interested in the tech or whatever, but I just feel like it's something that most people are going to like try out and then forget about a little while later. You know what I mean?
Right.
You might play Destiny on it now. You're at home. But next week you'll be back on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, or PC. And playing it, and I think that's just going to be how it's going to be, and I think you will use it when you go away on business or whatever, or vacation or whatever, and I think that's fine. I just think it's kind of like how I see everybody with the xCloud stuff, like all the pictures I've seen of people playing xCloud, which by the way I'm in the beta for that too. Believe me, believe me, if you got internet that's just average or like kind of what most people have in the US right now. It's not going to be ideal, but the thing is,
like 3 alligators per second.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, I technically have 30 down. When I was playing xCloud on my phone in my house, I had over 20 down at that time, and it was like 30 down. Yeah,
is Florida a third world country? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, no, 30. Yeah, I mean, well, listen, I guess it just depends, but like that's more than enough. They say you only need 10. And I'm at 30, and I was at 20 something when I was trying to play it, and it was just probably one of the worst experiences for me. But whenever you see people playing this, it's always these hardcore Xbox fanboys, and they're in their freaking houses, and they've got like hundreds of gigs down, and it's like right next to the router, and they got a phone that they got and they're like, look at this, it's perfect. I'm like, okay, well, show it to me on a train, a plane, an automobile, and then I might believe it. Because
I want to say something because I want to thank you actually, because you just brought up something that I've noticed myself is like I see everybody literally tearing Stadia apart, and that's fine. If it's not for you, I've made a promise since day one. It's never going to be a sales pitch for me. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But I am noticing that there are certain videos out where they're showing xCloud because it's in beta. Okay, and that's fine. Maybe that's what we're going to come to a conclusion by the end of this show, is that Stadia effed up and they should have called it a beta. Okay, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. They
probably should have, because
Absolutely.
if you look at it like that review I sent you guys earlier where they were talking about how it was very much imperfect. It was like that Nvidia stuff, which has been doing the same kind of streaming, but nobody's talks about it, but that's been in beta for 4 years.
And you know what? In Stadia Adventures here, he says, Mooch, my Stadia works perfectly fine, no issues. And I want to say this to you guys. Listen, the one thing I don't like is saying, I know people, it's working, so it's working. That's BS. That's not fair to anybody. Yeah, but I will say this much. There's a lot of people that are writing me saying, I'm having an outstanding experience with Stadia. You know, so I mean, I think you're seeing the media, and I'm not going to come down the media like I usually do, but it seems like the media looks at it and goes, guess what? If I put a negative quote out there, I'm going to get a lot of clicks. And it's
How do you think they make their money?
I didn't
That's
see them
true.
put out a lot of negativity.
They did. They
I
did.
did see them say that it works better than what they had thought. There's still some latency, but like you guys said, they should have called this a beta. It should have been hey, you want to pay $130 to be in a beta for a year?
Okay, to be fair, right? They should have called it a beta, but here's the thing. They specifically, when they came out, they said that they were doing a limited run Founders Edition until January, until 2020. So this were the first people to get their hands on this. And so from day one, it was me knowing that, okay, I am buying into the first days of this stuff. Just like anything first days, you always have issues.
Yes.
It's 2019, and we still buy $60 full title games that don't work, that have to be patched over and over. Look at Red Dead, right?
If you bought Fallout
for the
76,
PC.
if you bought Fallout 76 and Anthem this year, you're already at the same cost as Stadia. And that didn't work worth a shit, right?
Only you bought Fallout.
I did like Fallout 76. Listen,
I did too.
That's
Damn, Mooch.
right?
Man, you.
but you know, I want to say now. I want to pass the mic over to Salty and Next Gen too. But here's my thing. I want to just put this out there as well.
I'm sorry.
You guys have to understand. This isn't just Stadia with new technology. This is also a new platform. This is the third day ever they've dipped their toes in the gaming. Third day.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm sorry. Anybody calling me none today? I'm sorry.
No, Z. Z. What's your take on Stadia?
Can I borrow $1? I just came back from the little boys' room. I'm sorry. What's my take on? Listen, okay, all right. I'm sorry. Shout out to everybody. And what's the CrossFire? Shout out to you guys. This is my first time here, second time here. So let's have some fun.
Appreciate you being here, Z.
Hey, listen, ready for me to show up and show out? That's what you want, right? Is this what you want from me? Check it out, right? My take on Stadia, right? And overall, and I was a part of the beta. From the little boys' room, sorry, stream. And initially, when you think about streaming, I thought about Kai, I thought about it on live, and this meat is hating on it. You know what I mean? You know me, my integrity is always in question. I got a pro anti-streaming audience, and depends on the super chat's looking, right? I might be a Nintendo fan tomorrow, right? Bro, listen, love FF was honesty. With that being said, so I signed up for it. Now, right, in the rip, I have Verizon Fios. I have 300 up and 300 down, right? I don't have a data cap. So when I signed up for it, I was expecting to get it and shit on it, and this shit is trash. You know how to do getting full character,
Right?
And when I played it, and Kratos would tell you, hell out of me. And this is before they didn't come out talking about the specs of the service until GDC. I didn't know about the 10T flops and all that other shit, right? All I knew is that they gave me Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It looked and ran better graphically and performance-wise than my $500 Xbox One X or my $400 PlayStation 4 Pro. So like I was saying, it took me back in the days of when me and Pratt would damage control when Sony won an MPD or some shit. I'm behind the scenes like, oh shit, like bro, and literally, I'm not just saying it scared the hell out of me because again, me just being a fan of console.
Yeah. Yo, Jake,
you got him.
Someone's hitting the sticks, man.
He's playing Mortal Kombat.
That's either the Don or J Dub.
My bad. No, my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's Stadia.
He's trying to get Stadia to register.
Stadia.
He's fighting the lag on Stadia.
That's Samurai Showdown. That's Samurai.
Yeah, but again, like I said, it's scared the hell out of me. And again, bro, like I said, with the what do we call it? The required specs were 25 up, 25 down. I got 300 up and 300 down. And again, I'm not saying what people having issues now. I'm talking about what I played there in my home on a controlled environment. And this is the future, and this is where it's going, right? People can say what they want, right? But there'll be a lot of motherfuckers out there that's not going to buy it because most motherfuckers got the Slim or they got the S. They don't even have the X or the Pro. If they can whatever and not buy a $500 machine and have a quote unquote a next generation experience, A lot of people are going to make that leap or make that jump or not even be honest about it. But guess what? It's bigger than you and I. It's bigger than you and I.
I agree, Z.
It's about, a younger demographic. Again, they get to play with their favorite YouTubers who's not invested into an ecosystem. Now, I have yet to try it, now, like the issues or whatever the case. I'm just talking about from what I played then. It's Kratos on my line, Kratos.
No, you're not.
The hell out of me. You know what? I'm gonna take you back, Mooch and Crap, and you guys. Remember me making fun of, I think, Cash Corral, and he's asking about what does the PlayStation 5 look like? It might even be a physical console. Sony ain't got no money to make the PS5, this, that, and the other. This cloud shit, right? And all these other companies getting into it. But again, if this is the future, and I understand you have an issue, of course, the shit is going to get better. You know what I mean? It's kind of scary for guys like me. You know what I mean? Again, it's whatever, that I'm not going to need a box, and but maybe I may change. Shit, before I would buy physical games, I no longer buy physical games. I'm all digital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have a data cap, so understand it may not be for everybody, but I'm being honestly, I've never heard no one complain about a data cap with Netflix or whatever the fuck they do in the background.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So that's all.
Well, but Stadia is apparently like tearing through like 100 gigs of data in like an hour or whatever. It's ridiculous.
So is xCloud. So is
xCloud. That's the thing. And you know what? Honestly, and I want to go to. I'm
against that too. So,
but and so I don't know how your stance is. I see some of the things you're saying on Twitter, but I don't think you've come out and made a permanent stance yet. And if you have, I apologize. But that's one thing that I want to say credit to J-Dubs, and I'm going to ask Salt this. People are constantly putting all these things out. Listen, data's data. And compression's compression at this point so early on.
Yes.
Like, everyone's like, Stadia's the devil. Now, let me just put Stadia down. I don't want to use that kind of data. Let me play my xCloud. It's like, come on. It's like that's ridiculous. It's the same thing in that retrospect. Salt, where are you on not just Stadia, xCloud, and also just streaming in general?
Me?
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if you're analyzing the way the industry is going, you can see why Google's trying to hop in. But my question was, why the rush? Obviously they weren't there with the infrastructure. They didn't have the studios ready, and then they launch it half-assed. It's kind of like buying a car, and the dealer's like, "Hey, it's missing the seats, but you're an early adopter. We'll add those later. It's okay." It's just like. Stuff like that, like the data cap stuff, I think that just comes down to a consumer perspective. If you can't do the data cap stuff, then you're not going to invest in Google Stadia. The infrastructure in America is not where it should be for cloud gaming in general, but this is an early thing for Google. That's fine. But as a consumer, I'm just wondering who they're targeting. I know that J-Dub, you and Mooch, you bought it, but like who is Google targeting as their audience? Because me as a consumer on the outside looking in, especially with experience with Google working, doing content creation on YouTube, I know they don't give a shit when it comes to their consumers because there's this big giant entity and they have a history of closing shit when it doesn't make money fast. So if you're telling me, hey, invest in this product and buy games that you don't own and it might close up shop and you lose all your shit, that's a hard sell to me as a consumer, right? Because I'm like, okay, I can be an early adopter and I start investing in this platform and then Google's like, nah, bitch, I'm pulling the rug out from you, and we're closing shop.
See, but you know what? We can say that same. Here's the thing, right?
Oh, you got a few chats too, Mooch. You got a few chats.
Yeah, I was going to do that right after Jay. Yep, thank you, Zeke.
That in itself can be applied to Microsoft and Sony. We've seen them take studios or take companies and pull servers down.
Not the whole.
All the time.
They have history,
but they're not going to shut down the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Just last month, people were complaining, or making fun. Sony's pulling down the MLB 16 server, so you can't do this, and your data's gone. Or look at Lawbreakers.
That's one game.
I invested. But I invested in Lawbreakers. Guess what? That game is dead now. I can't do anything with that game.
That's one game, though.
Right? We can go down a list full of failed Microsoft products, failed Sony products.
But they pale in comparison. Listen. Most of the reviews I read kind of went like this. Here's the review that I posted for you guys in the thing earlier. It says, as it is now, Stadia is a tough sale, particularly when we're talking about Google. While I might trust Apple or Microsoft. Yeah, while I might trust Apple or Microsoft to fully commit themselves to a badly launched product like Stadia, Google has a history of cutting its losses. It likes to launch all kinds of neat tools and apps and then quickly axe them a few years later. Wave, Reader Plus, even without rolling out, even the rollout of Google's ISP, Google Fiber, has slowed down to nearly a stop. There's also the fact that the pool of people who can really appreciate Stadia's promise is very, very small. Do you own a PS4 or Xbox One? Congratulations, you have no need
Wait, hold on.
of a
Tim got
Stadia.
booted. Wait, you gotta give Tim some. Tim got booted.
I'm talking to Tim right now in the DM. He's
I'm sorry. And also, too, can you give me a little rinse so I can drop the link to my Twitter? If you don't be so kind.
I'm gonna do it right now, Z. I got you.
Yeah. So again, it's like Stadia's promise is very, very small. Do you own a PS4 or Xbox? Congratulations, you have no need of Stadia. Own a Switch? Feel great because you can actually play it in hotels or on planes. Something impossible to do with any game streaming service at the moment. This is just a review. This is just a review going over the Stadia. One of many. Like, I looked at a few reviews or whatever. It's like pretty much kind of what I expected. Some people are like, it works sometimes, but it dips. It's pixelated at times. It's this. I couldn't really take it on the go.
So let me add to this.
Well, hold on, we gotta get these bills. Hold on, these people come up screaming, paying the bills. You got them, Mooch, or you need to pay them? You got them?
No, I did not get them.
I got them. Hold on. But shout out to my man, Fix Crop. Mooch, my Stadia works perfectly. Fine, no issue. Shout out to you, good brother. Smuzz 246. Super chat works. Keep up the great show and panel. Mooch, shout out to you, good brother. And my man Philly Boy. Can't wait for you guys to talk about the game of the year, Death Stranding.
No.
And hold up, and ladies and gentlemen, I have a new Twitter account. If you're just looking for me, there, give me there's my Twitter. My only is me, the real me. But I'm sorry, who's in Saltiest Gamer? The shoot
No.
Who's that talking? I'm sorry, I'm bad. Who's that talking?
No, it's all good. Next gen.
Oh, the Don. Shout out to the Don. That was you, but you're fierce. That was okay. Hey, listen here, right? I as far as like I look at it like this, right? I'm gonna give you this scenario, right? I'm gonna give you check it out, right? Back when they said that Phil had to fix the power narrative and all that shit, right? And I told you guys that, but actually, I remember I actually say that I understand how Microsoft paid $3.3 billion and walked with the weak hardware. So maybe they do got dual stack GPUs and all that crazy shit, right? But come to find out again, I know some people that know somebody that covered multiple SoCs. So we were already going to get the Pro or going to get the X. These are billion trade, like they don't make what's called knee-jerk reactions. You don't have companies like Amazon, Walmart, Verizon are jumping in the pool and just to say that who's going to close up shop. Now, here's the thing, like, and to answer everyone's question, or maybe looking at it like this, for Stadia to be taken seriously, this is a fact, and for the hardcore, right? They're going to have to. I don't know what they work. Maybe they work more than Microsoft. How you say, be the behemoth and get some true AAA exclusive content. So check this out. So they were to get this for shits and giggles. Now Microsoft went out that motherfucker and say, hey, boom, Titanfall is a lifetime exclusive, and do shit like that, or do what Sony does, and what if you Call of Duty fans, you want this kind. But shout out to K Maker, the tinky winky type shit. No. But it's really to be taken serious by us here, the hardcore guys that are talking about it, because a great game is a great game. We can ball our face up all that we want, right? And just, I don't want to stream, but if it works for you, and again, it's all predicated if it works. Now they get their shit together. Now I don't, like I said, I know they're having some issues now on the grand scheme of things. I'm just telling. I know he said I know my integrity is always in question. What I sampled, I hear a background somewhere. I don't know if this is me. Somebody got the show playing in the background. I just hear feedback. Make sure I got the show. I got it muted. But
I'm hearing a little echo, man.
Yeah. I'm hearing it too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody got the show playing.
I feel like you're at Yankee Stadium right now.
Yeah,
talking to everybody.
I don't know what the hell that is. But let me make sure my hold on. Let me close this. Wait, actually, no, my Streamlabs and everything is closed, so it's not coming from me. I don't know. But anyway, but what I'm saying is for them to be taken serious by the us here, they're gonna have to invest in AAA content. And if it works, if they can listen, real talk, they can get this shit to work. Like when I tried it, and then I'm talking about no input lag, none of that shit. 1080p, ultra setting, 60 frames a second. I ain't even talking about the 4K stuff. Like, bro, for those that maybe you guys didn't try, this shit scared the hell out of me. It blew my mind. Kratos can tell you this. So we talk this shit. And I do several shows. So when they show this shit, Kratos, Moss, and Neff didn't have a problem pulling the trigger, going and drop $130 because we all played the the beta, and it worked.
Check this out, Z. This is my thing. When it comes to what they're trying to do with Stadia, it's the same thing with xCloud. I have no problem with that. My biggest problem with Stadia is the introductory price point on it, and the fact that
you got explain that to me. Explain that to me. What's
you got to, and I'm gonna kind of debunk it afterwards. But go ahead, Xbox.
But here's the deal. All right.
Okay.
For the first year, the only way you can get in is with the Founders or the Premier Pack, right? All right. Now
like a paid beta.
Not true.
Moving forward.
Okay.
Moving forward. You can buy a game and play it on Stadia for just the price of the game. So it's $60 plus tax, right?
Yes, sir.
But if you want to play it in anything like 4K and stuff like that, you have to pay the subscription for it. So not only are you paying for the game full price that you're not downloading anywhere, that you don't have in your possession anywhere, but you're also, if you wanna play it with that higher fidelity and everything like that, you're gonna pay a monthly subscription service for it as well. To me, that's a huge kind of like double dip. Where when you look at xCloud, they already said that they're tying that into Game Pass, which gives you.
What's xCloud? 720p?
Huh?
Yep.
Right now,
720p. Yep.
All right.
But they're not.
Hey, listen. I know. Listen, because they can't do 4K, and then this server, right? Listen, I know you're the last in the Mohegans, about you, my brother. One of the last on this island here, right? Listen, but check it out. But even in their server racks, they didn't put the X in that motherfucker.
They are putting it in though. They're
putting it's not. I'm just talking about now.
They're not going to put the X. They're going to put the Scarlett down the road.
Yeah,
what I'm talking about right now.
Eventually.
You know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. But right now they have it, and it's working for them. You know what I mean? And whatever the case may be. But how many gamers, just keeping it funky, right? How many gamers really game in 4K 60? We gotta be all across the board.
That's the truth too.
You know what I mean? I don't.
It says 4K. Listen, it says 4K on the every PS4 Pro box, and we know that's 1800p for most games.
What's the pricing a month?
Stadia. There's going to be a free model. It starts February.
Yes, sir.
And then you'll have the Pro. The Pro is $9.99
a month.
So
same again. You buy the games. And here's the thing, right? Even with that, shout out to you, Bot. I got to break your legs a little bit, right? Even with that, what you're saying about buying the buying it digitally. We all buy that shit digitally from Xbox or PlayStation now because you download it, fine, but you still don't own it physically, right? But you got to buy a hard drive. You're not worried about no hard drive space or whatever the case may be, right? But listen, that's not the issue. The main issue. Let's not forget about this, right? I heard one guy say, "Well, the digital games cost too much." That's not even an issue. As long as they don't cost more than what's the Xbox show or Steam sells or whatever. It's if it works. If they can listen, I'm gonna tell this to you again. If they can get that shit working like it worked when I fucking signed up for the the beta, whatever the case may be, and I seen it was on a smaller controlled environment and whatever the case may be. Yo, bro, look, it's a sight to behold. And listen, I know how you said I know my integrity is always in question. Kratos would tell you, bro, that shit scared the shit out of me. And why I keep saying that, because again, me just being a traditional guy, how you say strictly meat and potatoes and shit, old school guy, I don't want consoles to go anywhere. But I also have to be realistic here. A lot of people here that are going against it, saying this, that, being able to play some next generation shit, but hey, you got to drop $500.
Yes.
No, you made a great point on that. That's something I haven't heard anybody else say.
That's what I'm saying. Basic business 101. People talk that shit, and we can take a poll.
I mean, they still got to buy a pretty good. People are playing it on their PCs though, or they're playing it on.
You play it anyway. You can play it on an e-machine, on an e-browser.
But I mean, they're you still need a pretty good. Their whole concept is buy an iPad or play it on that, or buy a kind of a.
I played it on my daughter's $120 laptop. Oh my. I tried it. You hear me? I tried it on my $12,000 PC, and I tried it on a $124 fucking gateway with a laptop from Walmart.
And you played a single player game.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what they had. That's what I'm saying. Again, you're absolutely right. That's what I had to go by, and I haven't tried any more.
Again, some of the reviews are like, "Hey, we tried playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There's 300 milliseconds of lag."
Yeah, but I want to hear Salt's opinion on this, but I got to tell you guys something. You know, these random and wacky people being like, "I can barely play it." Meanwhile, there's other people that have videos out that are gamers that are like, "I'm playing it and it's not a problem."
Flawless.
You know,
Exactly.
so
That is the issue.
Salt, go ahead,
Everybody
Salt.
All right, so
gets a
hold
different
on.
experience.
One of the main things here that you got to take into account is because they're using the blades right for xCloud, it's easy for these developers to just get their games on the system.
Right.
Now with Google Stadia, it's not the same thing. They got a code for it. So that's going to be the issue here, because Xbox is going to add to the library. Because what happened? How many games are in Stadia right now, offhand? Right,
22, I think.
So it's going to take time for them to add to that library because they have to code for it. Meanwhile, on the other side, Xbox is just slamming games in there, right? 50 already. What happens when it goes to 150 or 300?
And I want to give you the mic right back, but I just want to say those 50, okay, like 8 of them are what you would call AAA. The rest of them are tiddlywinks. You know, so it's like, it's fine, right, that's in there. That's great that they have the number. They're doing this big number thing so they can be like, we have 50, me 50, I have 50. Okay, great. But it's not 50 you really care about either. My point is that
those are 50 you don't want to play.
Games 3 months after launch, right? Like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, or they put in.
But I want to go. But I want to kind of say, but that's fine. That's fine. But the other apples for apples is okay. And if you guys want to say this, I want to put this disclaimer out there. I agree with everybody that says this. Stadia should have called this a beta or early access. There, I want to just put that disclaimer out there. That being said, okay, Stadia's performance, and it's quoted by IGN and everybody else, I said the technology on Stadia's end at this point in time is bar none. It is better than xCloud and the GeForce, whatever it is, NVIDIA. My point being, right? So my point
That's not saying much.
Well, it is when you're talking about there's only 3 players and they're the best one. It is saying much. It's saying a lot.
It's not saying much, though. I mean, listen.
Listen.
Well, it
is. Here's the thing, right? We're almost comparing apples to pears. They're in the same arena, but you got to realize what Google's going to do. People are trying to count them out already.
Fold up.
This is going to happen, right? They may fold, but until they fold up, this is their plans. This they said. Guess what? Early next year, we got Ubisoft's Uplay coming to Stadia. That encompasses 200 games right there, just from adding that service. Who's to say Epic Store, right?
It feels like a pyramid scheme. They're promising like far out, but by the time you get there, it's folded. You know.
We only gave them 2 days. We only gave them 2 days.
We're only 3 days into a launch. That's what I don't understand.
Listen, though. But they've already
given Microsoft 7 years of your life. Some promise, and you're still waiting. You can give these guys 6 months.
Listen, Mike. Let me say this real quick. Microsoft has actually delivered throughout 3 whole generations of having a console. So if you want to give them a little bit of time, I'm not, but I'm just saying if you want to, at least you can understand it. Google, what the fuck has Google ever done?
But that's the thing,
besides fuck over everybody at a drop of a hat?
Wait, real quick. So crap. When a brand new restaurant opens up in your area, you just egg the place. I mean, come on, man.
Who's running Stadia? Who's running Stadia? One Mr. Phil fucking Harrison, the guy who launched the PS3, the guy who launched the Xbox One, the guy who was in charge of fucking Lionhead Studios when it got closed down and it got canceled. Now he just got there like a year ago.
Who's running Xbox? Phil Spencer. That's even worse.
Hey man, I'm not saying
Mr. Scalebound is better for the game.
I'm not comparing the two because I think Phil Spencer's I think Phil Spencer's a fucking chode. I just don't fucking think that Stadia's going to be a thing.
It might not crap.
And here's the thing though, right? And we get this is one thing we have to be cognizant of, right? That just if it gets Stadia, right? Amazon is launching their shit next year, right? And they are also, I don't know, they're the wealthiest company right now, whatever the case. Amazon, if you don't know, they really have their, the gaming in the chokehold. They bought Curse. They actually own my black ass. I'm signed to Curse. They own Twitch. They own a lot of different shit, and they also bought a bunch of fucking developers. Not only if you get Stadia, right? So you got Amazon, you got Verizon. They're they're doing their streaming service. I did a video about it a little while ago. Know some people, right? So I remember when I did. They said, "Well, it's fake," because they showed God of War and they showed Detroit Become Human as games that you can play in the state. And they said, "No, those games are exclusive." But a month later, we see that Detroit Became Human came to PC. So you also got Verizon. Then you have Walmart. You have all these different players. $1 companies they're throwing their hat into the ring. Why is that? Because when it comes to gaming, it's the number one as far as number one media. With music, gaming. Who said gaming is number one? The top of the food fucking chain, and everybody wants their piece of the fucking pie. So I'm not really worried about Google folding up and taking up shop. You know what I mean? The issue, I think we still all missing the thing, and is getting this thing to work like I played. And I'm gonna say this, I know you hate to keep repeating myself. If they can get that shit to work like I tried it in my home, it's gonna be a fucking problem. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a problem for the PS5. It's gonna be a fucking problem for the Scarlett, because I can get those type of graphics and not again buy $5 goddamn console. Shit me.
So let me ask. And I like exactly what you said. That's the same reason I plunked the money down, because I felt the same way you did. Now, Don, from a technical standpoint, from where you come from and your background, what's the deal with this? Like, is this something where like you're kind of seeing where we're saying you got to give this thing some time? It's the third day. This is the third day of just Google Stadia. This is the third day that Google's ever been in the gaming business. Period.
Exactly. Why the hell would you trust them? That's
there's so much.
It's $129, crap. It's not a pint of blood.
Hey, man, I could get a PS4 or an Xbox One S this holiday.
Crap, I ain't gonna lie.
We all bought.
I trust Google. My Xbox. I ain't gonna lie. Right now,
we've all spent $500, $400, and another $500 just Xboxes alone. And we're still talking about let's wait and see what they're going to do at E3.
Hey,
I'm saying give these guys at least 2 months.
Right, give them some time.
Close the door for 2 months. You close the door for 2 days.
Here's the problem, J-Dub, as far as I can tell. Everybody already has this negative taste in their mouth from streaming because of online, because of Gaikai, because of PlayStation Now. So naturally, the natural reaction to this shit is who cares? Or they might try it and be like, I'm going to, I tried it. It's okay. I'm going to get back to my console. I think that's the natural reaction. So to be fearful of it, I don't know if I'm fearful of it. It's like for me personally, it's like game ownership or being able to buy a used game or be able to game share with my brother, all my games, hundreds of them. You know what I'm saying? Like game preservation. I own over 1,000 games. You know what I'm saying? Not even on I own almost 1,000 on my Xbox One X alone, but I'm talking about just big physical games from all the generations. I own over 1,000 games, like game preservation.
He got 500 VCR tapes. What
about you're being a hoarder, crap.
Game modification, game preservation. These are things that people need to think about, right? Like it's funny to go, well, some games get delisted after a license expires after 2 years. But if you own it, you can still play it. On Stadia, it's just like so long. And they've even said that. You're talking about a company that's so rich, but they don't even do any kind of real public speaking. They go to
Wait. How dare you bring up how rich this company is when Microsoft is the world's richest company? And yet the best game they have is Battletoads.
I'm not an Xbot though, dude. I'm not. I'm just saying that Stadia
crap. You've given Microsoft 7 years of your life this generation alone.
I stopped jerking off Phil Spencer a long time ago. Come on.
Listen. This shit is, bro, I'm gonna say this one thing. First of all, shameless plug. Can I borrow $1? Please follow me on my new Twitter account. But this, this was a Mooch. This supposed to be reminiscent when we was talking about these mid-gen refresh and how fucking crap was against it. Like Archie Bunker, goddamn crap.
He was so against it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Listen, I'm gonna say this right. I'm gonna shut the hell up. This is your show, right? But this is funny. I'm having fun here. Like, just look at like this crap, right? Remember at the start of the generation, right? And everybody, DRM, anti-corruption, always online.
For sure.
Who the fuck talks about always online now in DRM, right?
Well, it depends. I still do hear some people talk about it.
I haven't heard them. Listen, most of them, I probably think they probably suffering from schizophrenia, and they have a low sex drive. I don't know, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying is the way that gaming has progressed this generation, right? And even when I consume my media, think about it. I was all physical, pause, at the start of the generation, right? Let me last. I wouldn't reserve the goddamn game or got in line at GameStop and for a midnight launch. I no longer do that. You know what I mean? So that in itself, why do I hear myself twice? Is it just me? Where the hell am I coming through twice? Am I in two?
I don't know. I think
I
somebody's
only
playing.
hear you.
I think somebody's
I only
playing
hear you
it
once,
through.
so yeah, I don't hear it.
I don't
twice.
have anything open.
Real quick, Z, let me just get a couple
my mic
super
is mute,
chats.
so-
Let me just say a couple super chats here. I don't know.
Okay.
Sir X-Man says IGN is bashing Xbox as we speak again on xCloud. And I don't know if he's talking about you. I don't know who he's talking about. Courtney Burgess says, this dude sounds like a discount Terrence Howard. So I don't know who he's talking about.
Me, probably me, yeah.
Right. He's right. So, real quick, Don, what about the tech on this? Like, what should we expect, and what should we calm down on?
Yeah, I mean, I covered this before. I think on a podcast we formerly known as Xbox Nation. But
Xbox Nation, what the hell's going on here?
I think it's called the Green Box Bad Podcast. But
I'm taking a break.
So he had a Ponzi scheme going on there.
but as I chatted before, I think there's a market for this. I don't think it's every gamer, and that's the harsh reality. I think when you have a release like this, you're going to have mixed reactions, and it's inevitable. Google could release this next year. The same thing would have happened. Anytime you release something in scale with networking,
yes,
stuff happens.
It's going to have its ups and downs till they get the kinks out.
And some people they may have really fast internet, but their internet's not going to work for it. It may be inconsistent internet, and that can be a problem too. So, it's just not going to work for everybody. Is it a viable option for some people? Sure. And is it going to stick around? I absolutely think it's going to stick around, but I think it's going to be another segment. I don't think it's going to be the replacement. And this is
right.
This is a view I had before like Phil took the stage and said, this is our stance on streaming versus console and all this sort of stuff. I had this stance before he publicly said all that. And because I saw this kind of happening, because now everyone's going to have the same experiences. It's inevitable. The beauty of having a console under your television, or a PC under your monitor or next to your monitor is the fact that you can create a consistent experience. So the people that are passionate, they're still going to buy hardware. People that want to have a side gig and do some streaming thing, they'll do some streaming things. Some people won't. And I think what I see is just growing the pie. And I also see a lot of the streaming services going to come out. Not a lot of them are going to have the tech to back it up. And what you're going to see is, I think I heard Next Gen talk about Verizon, Walmart, all these.
Amazon.
Yeah, there's only going to be a couple of them going to make it. Like the rest are just going to drop off. And be fully honest,
if you had to bet your money, a gambling man, out of I don't know what Walmart's worth, Amazon and Google, or who do you think would be the first to fold up and go home?
I think both, and this a lot of people talk crap on PlayStation Now, but I think PlayStation Now has tech. It just doesn't have the right hardware behind it.
Well, there's supposed to be signing into deals with Azure, whoever.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so I think that's a viable option for people as things move on. I think xCloud is going to be a viable option. I think the two X factors are probably going to be either Yahoo or Google because they're
Yahoo.
No, Yahoo. Sorry, Amazon and Google.
Somebody drug test this man. God damn, he said Yahoo. He said Earthlink. Who the fuck got Earthlink?
AOL Online.
Exactly, but
Jesus.
Amazon and Google, they're the kind of the like X factors. Are they going to be able to make it? Or are they going to be able to have the pull? I don't know if they have the technology to back this up, and that's where it comes. One of those may flood on top. And here's the thing: is Amazon can pull the plug, or Google can pull the plug next year, and they don't take a loss. They just sell that computing power to the enterprise sector, and they make their money.
Well,
so there's like very little risk for Google if they pull the plug.
Well, when you look at what you said as far as tech, I don't know what they're using, but when you're just talking about again, with some old school damage controlling data centers,
it's just a pain in the ass to get stuff running on it.
Just say data centers, right? I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Amazon's number one. I don't know who's been number two between Google
It's
or
debatable.
Microsoft.
I think they
Microsoft.
trade blows all the time.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and whatever the case may be, you know what I mean, as far as like data centers. But if you're talking about PlayStation now, it wasn't the best. You know, it's gotten better now. You can download directly. But even like I said, the service, like we even have our own dependence, like with Sony, day and date. And just to be clear, this again, I've said this on several shows. It's about business and what makes money. And the reason why they don't do it now, they don't have the infrastructure to handle more than currently 5 million current users, right? Or it would literally break the fucking network. And I've done shows on it, showed slides. That's not even, like I said, the issue, right? And I know Game Pass got shit on a lot in the past because of the type of games that Microsoft has been making, better gaming and all that shit there, right? Shitty goddamn games. But now as a service, again, Game Pass has gotten much better. And literally it's gotten 10-fold better than what it was.
Oh yeah.
That's, again, I give credit where credit's due. Their exclusives are still dog shit, but as far as what's in it, what's battling again,
I got you. It doesn't float your boat right now.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're gonna be real. I mean, I'm always, how you say, like my man, what dirt ass? We need dirt in. I'm an Xbox guy. It's being an Xbox guy, you know what I mean? And again, like I said, son, I got to listen to Mooch. Said what changed? I didn't change. Microsoft changed. I'm coming from being an Xbox guy and having these big AAA blockbuster games, what I'm used to. You know what I mean? They went with this Voodoo, Vince, these, you know what I mean? And it's sad to say there's nothing wrong with those games, but that's all that we got. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't get anything else besides that. And like I said before, Crackdown 3 was never up there with the Gears, Forza, and Halo. You know what I mean? But when you talking about, this is it, and this is all that we're getting. And we haven't, to be honest, we had Microsoft's last AAA game outside of Gears and Forza and Halo was fucking Quantum Break in 2016.
And to your point, I think what these services, either you're talking about streaming or you're talking about Game Pass, it's forcing them to try to stay a little bit more honest with their consumer base, right? Because it's a subscription base. So if they're screwing up, it's real easy to cancel a subscription. It's not like the old magazine subscriptions is when you're a kid.
I ain't gonna lie, they got me. I'm hooked, bro. It was $1, and then it was what they got me for $1. Now it's 15. I got live, and I don't even think about it. It's like I don't even think about my Netflix.
But if you're not a happy consumer, eventually you're just gonna cancel.
I mean, they have stuff there. I'm not gonna again. That's not what I. Okay, I think this is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, like Game Pass again. They have a bunch of games in there that I wouldn't buy for $60, but I don't mind trying. Like I said, they have me, quote unquote. I'm tied in. You know what I mean? I got live, whatever, and the games or whatever there. You know what I mean? That's not the issue. You know what I mean? What I was saying is the reason. Well, again, people get shitted on Game Pass at the beginning because the type of games that Microsoft, I say, rated 69 type games, and that's why they're making. That's why it was the the butt of everyone's joke. But now they're getting a lot of, quote unquote, great third party content in there. They're opening up their checkbook.
Let me add to that real quick. TLR9 in the super chat, he says Stadia needs newer games like Modern Warfare, Jedi Fallen Order, right? Yes, he says everything they're offering are older games. Let's say so. Now TLR9, real quick, what Z just said is true. They're coming. You guys, everyone kind of has a memory lapse here. We were playing a Super R type game for PS4, right? And we were playing Max Curse of the Brotherhood for Xbox when it came out.
But right? But listen, hey, don't you find this to be a problem though?
But it's not out to the public though. That's another thing you're saying.
But what happened? But look, the same way that the Switch, even though that's a surefire hit, doesn't get games day and date because they need the code specifically for it. Right. Isn't that going to be a problem? Yeah. What happens next year? Next year when Call of Duty releases, and then you have to wait 6 months to get it on.
Dude, it's going to be on. Listen, this is the third day. They will have these games day and date. They're playing catch up. They're playing catch up.
It's not even out to the public. It's only for the early.
But there's been developers that have said they're not gonna. They don't have.
That was one developer.
What game did he make?
So exactly, some tinky winky.
I'm just talking. Where's Madden? Where's Call of Duty? Where's FIFA?
They got NBA 2K.
They said it was coming. Yeah, they said Madden.
They sound like timeshare salesman over here.
Don't get me wrong. But see,
it's coming. It's down the pipeline.
Wait, hold on. Here's my answer for that. Wait till E3.
Oh shit!
Wait,
Are they even doing it? Are they going to do it?
Wait till E3.
Are they going to do
No,
another?
argue-
be closed by
Argue
then.
against me. Argue against me now. Argue against me now. Wait till E3.
Are they going to be doing another Reddit AMA? I can't wait.
But no, you know what's crazy?
It's gonna be a inside Stadia. How about that?
Hey, listen, it's crazy. I'm not worried about it. That's not my issue. I'm not worried about them getting third-party content because third-party wants their games everywhere.
Absolutely.
Nintendo got shit hardware. We gotta be. That's why you don't get a lot of the shit. They got shit hardware. That's not the issue about me. Worry about them getting multi-plats. Like that's nothing, right? They got
They don't have first party though. All they have.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. And them opening up their checkbook and being quote unquote.
I said this, Z. I said this. So you know this. You've definitely been in the chat. You've been on the show. I'm telling you right now that Google is going to play dirty this upcoming year. And you know how I know that?
I hope they do.
It was reinforced with the fact that now Microsoft, Phil, is going to go back on his word again because now there's a rumor out there that xCloud is going to have exclusive games. Because you know why? They know Stadia is going to have exclusive games.
Wait. Your arguments are going to have exclusive games on xCloud when they use the same system
hold up.
television?
The article headline said xCloud is going to have exclusive games.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Much weight in that one.
Who said that? Wait, that's crazy. Now listen, who the hell said that?
What?
Phil the X-Men spitting up. No, listen, that shit slapping the goddamn face. Hold on. I ain't got an exclusive on my $5 goddamn box.
Exactly.
You don't give me an exclusive in the cloud. Phil, you don't get your janky ass out of here. That's some dog shit. That's some dog shit there. You know what I mean? That's some straight dog shit right there. I ain't got an exclusive on my $5 box, but you gonna give me some shit in the cloud?
That's what people were up in arms about today, Z.
Wait, hold on. Hey, move 1 second. I'm gonna borrow a dollar. My camera ain't on, but hold on. I know my camera ain't on. And I'm gonna shut the hell up. This is your show. But is this what you want from me? Like, are you serious? Like, no, come on, man. That got it. Thank you. Oh, hell. I'm sorry. Shut the hell up. Yeah, Mooch, your show. I'm sorry.
It's all good, dude. That's good. That's why you're here, Z. That's why you're here.
Right.
I mean, so. Go ahead.
Hey, we're giving this Stadia shit way more time than it deserves, to be honest with you.
It's on. Listen, every media outlet's covering it all the way through. I keep going through my scroll, my feed. Everybody says it's dead, but they can't stop talking about it.
Because it is. I mean,
like
Death
Stranding.
You know,
it's like just getting the Death Stranding. No thing is bad press, right?
Well, let's get into that. Actually, that's a great segue. Let's talk about the Game Awards, right? So the Gameway, right? Here we go. We got the whole thing going on here. The awards show always comes up with kind of some sort of scrutiny every single year. This year, again, we're back with Kojima. Kojima takes a 3-year break, and the minute he comes back, he's the topic of controversy. Which I'm not saying it's not called for. I'm just saying it's a debate that we should talk about. Myself personally,
I don't really see any controversy.
I don't either. I was gonna say I don't have a problem with the crap. I don't have a problem
because people pointed out that Jeff Keighley is on the board of advisors, but so is Phil Spencer, and those aren't the people that actually pick the games. That's 80 different people from the media. And they list who it and they list who it is. There's a list of them. You can get the list. So it's not like and I try to tell people this, right? Like if you like Gears of War 5, hey, that's on you. That's fine. It was an okay game. But they really fucked it up with all and I'm glad they didn't get any nominations for Game of the Year or anything. Because dude, why the fuck are you gonna have to pay $5 to get an animation that's been free in every other Gears game? Why did they treat Gears 5 like a goddamn premium game, like a phone game? Right? I get that you could get it for $1, but as long as you're still selling that as a premium title, there's no way that there should be all that. They need to decide what they want to do. Are they all in on the service, or are they going to still try to sell you something, right? Because the way I see it is like they're trying to treat their shit like phone games, and they did it to Forza Horizon 4. That got turned into games as a service with the way that they treated that, and dailies and monthlies and weeklies and all that bullshit. Oh, and let's do some crazy fucking dancing as well and casualize it. Same thing with Gears. Let's give thumbs up and little dances and weird shit because that makes sense in the Gears universe, right? And then what's that makes me wonder about Halo. Like, how many microtransactions is that shit
gonna
have?
Halo is gonna be fine. Halo is gonna be
how many
fine. 343 is at the front of Halo. Yo, back when Halo 5
343. Excuse me if I don't trust 343, bot.
Bungie over 343.
You gotta let me finish, brother.
All right.
Let me finish.
When it comes
John, don't let me finish now.
Get flashbacks.
Let me finish.
But when 343 came out with Halo 5 and the rec packs, and there was nothing wrong with the rec packs moving forward, all right? Everybody thought that Gears was going to follow suit with Gears 4 and use the same thing, and Coalition didn't. They went in a completely different direction. So what would make you think that Halo would be influenced by Gears 5 when they've gone separate ways when it comes to
the first reason I would bring up is that these studios have to still, even though they have creative freedom, quote unquote. Just because there was no Game Pass last time. If you look at like Forza Horizon 4 and Gears 5, they were built for Game Pass with the way that they did things.
Okay.
So why wouldn't they build Halo Infinite for Game Pass as well?
I'm gonna ask you a question, Crap. You know why? And I'm not even damn. I like Gears. Overall, I think it's a better game than 4. But the problem with Gears or even with Halo, and they have to evolve, Crap, and attract a younger audience, whether we like it or not. They have to attract the younger Fortnite crowd and those people that go out there and like those weird, funny dancing emote stuff. Or
look how much money Epic.
And it's a business, and that overall. Years, I know some people get caught up in it, but tag the SJW. I don't care about none of that shit. It was a good game, 60 frames per second. They and I play Gears. My biggest issue with Gears, believe it or not, bro, is the fact that they took away kills for assassinations and assists. Like, give me back my kills. I don't like that and how they kind of dumped it down with war or whatever the fuck. That's my issue. But as far as I don't know, like I play, guys, I play Gears. It just normally Gears moves as a tank. Doom. 5 is smooth as shit. They did their thing with the engine. That's my issue with Gears again, is that assist count as kills and stuff like that. Now, as far as the long as it's not pay to win like they did with Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I got into the game and everyone, I don't buy skin. That's my I don't have an issue with that. They want to doll it up for the younger crowd. They want to go out there and have a pink character, knock your goddamn socks off.
It didn't work though, Z. You know why? Because the game's almost out of the top 30 most played Xbox games after 2 months. It debuted at number 7, the lowest ever for a Gears game, and a month later.
It outsold 4, right?
Well, hold on. Phil Spencer said that, but how ambiguous is him to say it, right? Outsold it at what? Outsold it at launch. Outsold it at the first 2 weeks. Like, the guy, I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. Like, what does that mean?
That's true.
What does that mean? What does that mean, right? Because he goes, it outsold it, which, by the way, Gears 4 debuted at number 3 and stayed in there for a couple months in the top 20. Gears 5 is totally out of the top 20 a month later, and nobody's playing it. Nobody's playing it online.
The question that I have is are we talking about the Game Awards? But you guys sound like politicians. You're like off on a whole nother track about Gears, you know what I'm saying? Here's the deal. Like, the controversy is not about Gears 5. Who cares about that? There's about 5 other games that should have been
everybody in the chat.
Over control, dude. But let's talk about Keighley, Jeff Keighley, and Hideo Kojima taking pictures looking like they're on a honeymoon, man. Let's talk about how it's conflict of interest of the dude that owns the award show. Yeah. He's the host of the show, right? He's taking pictures like he's doing honeymoons, and he's promoting Death Stranding like he works for PR.
Did
more promotions on than PlayStation?
Did Metal Gear Solid 5 though? Did Metal Gear Solid, because that was not, and I didn't really pay attention to this. I saw did it win?
To that one too. I've heard that about 10 times.
Yes, Metal Gear Solid.
Here's the deal. Metal Gear Solid 5 was under Konami. This is Kojima's first game away from.
Yeah, but Jeff Keighley basically he proposed to Kojima on stage that year.
Go to Keighley's Twitter account, man. It looks like he works for
But Keighley doesn't pick the games. I mean, I get what you're saying,
right? I mean, he said there's that meme going around where the card comes out and it says, this game won. No, I'm just kidding. It's Death Stranding. You know. You can say all you want, right?
It's in the Microsoft. It's in the Microsoft Theater, and Phil's on the board. So I mean,
exactly.
Like to me,
the board, but he ain't checking who's doing the
media bias. Media bias.
Hey, Bill. It's not media bias because no one believes in that shit.
Wait, hold on. Hey, Mooch, you got a big build.
It's a conspiracy.
This super chat right here, Midway 7 Monster. This is going back, I think, to Stadia. Shout out to Midway. He says, until they have a first-party AAA banger, I'm going to believe that they are going to rely on third-party AAA till they get their AAA going, like PlayStation with indies in the beginning of this generation. The band is back together. Midway, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But you know what? Listen, Zeke, let me just answer Saul, because Saul, there's nobody probably on this panel that understands what you're saying more than me, and I'll tell you why. There was a lot of times that I like to take what seems like obvious evidence, right, or at least something that's concrete, something you can take, and they say we can actually go forward with this evidence, and I'm with you with that. But the thing is what I've learned over the years is even though that is I agree with you, that is a glaring issue. It's a glaring issue, and I'd say that you know what. It would make some people, maybe half the audience, turn the other way when they determine.
It's like Roger Goodell in the NFL, dry humping.
Right. Dry hump. I bet you were going to say the Patriots owner. My point is, right. So, I mean, my whole thing is, right. Yeah, like that was for you, crap. But I mean, listen, my whole thing is this.
Fuck the Patriots.
Right. But listen. Hey, I'm a Giants fan. I got no skin in the game this year. But my whole thing is this. I think that even though I do agree with where Salt's coming from as far as there's something there to run with, I think when it comes down to it, there's enough on the other side where he's not on the board. He doesn't do this. He's removed himself as much as possible from and don't get me wrong, so this is not defense.
Oliver's face. Kojima called him
up
and said, "Hey, let's do a photo shoot."
I love your picture on Twitter.
Does it need to be nude or not? I'll come nude anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Mooch, you got to give me a on the branches so I can leave the link to my Twitter, bro. I don't have one.
Yeah, listen.
I put it in your Twitter DM.
Yeah. Huh? No. I was saying you give me on the internet chat. I was trying to link. They asked me for the link for my Twitter. You gave someone a little wrench. I'm trying to leave the link from my Twitter in the chat.
Yo, Keely's gonna be in the winner for guest appearance on a game goes to Jeff Keely. Oh shit! Oh, you know what I'm saying?
But see, here's the thing about it. It sounds like a personal opinion versus what you can prove and versus what it's always been. You're willing to discredit an award show because a guy made a holographic appearance in a game.
Okay.
And here's the thing. No. Listen, here's the thing, right? Death Stranding got an 83 Metacritic. It's a very controversial title. And there's a million other games that could possibly win this. But the mere fact that this game, the mere fact, right?
Weird.
One of them.
How is it? Wait. Let me talk real quick. How is it weird that Kojima has been making games for 30 years and all of his games have been 90+ rated and game of the year winners and contenders? How is that all of a sudden he makes a game and now you guys find it puzzling that his game does?
5 got a bunch of perfect scores, and then when the game got into people's hands, they're like, "Yo, this is trash. I have no idea what."
Listen, whatever.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's media bias. Only Xbox do that.
Media bias. Well, hold on. The main thing is this, right? I just think that this was a rougher year for gaming in general, and I actually think that the Game Awards was interesting with their nominations because, again, Gears was so chock full of microtransactions and stuff, and so a lot of the games,
no cigarettes, no smoking.
No, yeah, like a lot of the games that were nominated didn't have that problem. So it could be the industry fighting back a little bit against that. Had a remake in there, which I thought that was a great game, but I didn't know if a remake should have been nominated. So I had my problems there. Control, good game, but again, just shows how soft the year was in general. Yeah. And then you had, what I'm saying? Like Shadows Die Twice.
I liked Control
title,
but yeah,
that's such a niche title. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple million people, which is good, I guess. But again, that's probably not like a super popular. So again, it was in an Outer Worlds. I mean, come on, it's it kind of is what it is. But I really don't have a problem with that. The funnier part to me was Gears 5 getting snubbed for the online game of the year. Or the multiplayer game of the year by Tetris, yeah. Like that was the funnier part to me. It's like this game where Microsoft, and it just goes to show how far Microsoft's online games have fallen.
Some crazy shit going. I think I'm banned in your chat, Mooch. You put the
no, you're not banned, buddy. You're in there, dude.
Hey, bro, I dropped the link. I'll listen.
Twitter, brother.
Zeke, can you write in the chat?
Hey, no.
Hey, bro, wait, no, hold up, brother. Listen.
You gotta write in the chat. If you write in the chat,
bro. Hey, bro, I go to my stock account, the Almighty Next Gen 720 Johnson. I'm not even seeing the
you ain't banned, buddy. I don't know why it ain't working.
Well, you gotta go right to them. Click the little dot. You gotta be banned, bro. Click the little dot. You understand me?
Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Yeah, God damn, my brother.
I'm looking right at you. You're not.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, I'm looking right at this shit. I'm looking over my sock account. It ain't popping out.
You said do not.
That's
do not
because Link.
defend-
That's
You got the
because
super
Link,
chats too, right?
That's because links don't links unless you're a mod or the owner.
Yeah, I
of the
said,
channel
give me a
don't-
little
Yeah.
next to my name, man.
Hold
God
on.
damn.
I'm telling you right now, Z. I'm looking right at your thing.
God
You are
damn.
not. You are
Hey,
not.
brother, can I get a wrench? Hey, brother, can I get $1?
I'm
Can I
trying.
get
You
a
gotta. Hold up. I can't. I'm doing like
You didn't
8
show
things
enough
over
for
here. Hold up.
Google,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
banned you.
exactly.
You didn't
Google's
show enough.
like, hey, let's shut down Google Plus and Hangouts and this and that and Fiber and Glass and all this
Yeah.
stuff, right? Yeah.
But no,
hey.
but listen, but my issue with that, I've also I haven't seen Z chat here. They can't see me. I'm banned.
I don't.
But
You're not
listen,
banned. I'm telling you. I'm looking right at it. It says you're
you
not
just can't
banned.
post. You can't post links unless you're a mod or a owner.
Well,
I'm
God
trying
damn,
to get
can
you
I-
that. I'm trying to get you
I'll
that.
just drop
See, I
something. to you.
posted the link for you, bro.
Well, listen, I post my own goddamn link. I won't put it in.
Hold up.
Yo, Z, I
God
love
damn. But anyway, as I was saying, my issue with the awards, and I mean, I have I'm going to stream Death Stranding tomorrow to give you guys my own take. But I've been having issues with those guys since when they gave. And I'm not even a big Forza guy. They gave soccer cars best race over Forza.
Yeah.
I've been looking, well, even with the fact that they gave Overwatch the best game over Uncharted, I've been looking at them like, I do the shows just for shits and giggles to have fun or whatever. But you know what I mean? I haven't taken them seriously for years. But here's the thing: is it a conflict of interest if it does win Game of the Year? Because the competition that is going up against is not, it's not as I don't know. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yo, real quick,
Guys,
let me
the
read the
Outer
super
Worlds is gonna
chat
win
before it goes
anyway,
away
man.
because dudes give me props, so I'll read
No,
it.
go
for
ahead.
them.
Thank you, Saul. I appreciate
Gotham
you
guy
reading.
with the $10 super chat. Saltiest Gaming is right. Whether or not Gears 5 should have been nominated is up for debate, but no one can explain in good conscience why Control and Death Stranding was nominated.
I mean, Control was
well,
bad,
I-
Of course, Death Stranding for one is a one of a kind game. It's a great game. The music is great. The gameplay is great. The graphics is phenomenal. The story is
Gameplay is great.
freaking amazing. Everything about the game is awesome, and it's my game right under God of War of the generation, and it is what it is.
Hey, I'll
Salty.
say this:
Just
though,
be salty.
no other game this year got Death Stranding got 19 perfect scores. That's
Yes.
more than any other game this entire
Facts.
year. So
How many
I
of those
think-
dudes called Kojima daddy though?
I don't know, man. Like I don't like no, I don't know offhand.
The gameplay was
I'm
boring and
just
floggy
saying
and
I'm just saying
clunky.
it's like I played the game.
Gears
It's
didn't have
something-
cigarettes.
It's completely it is something completely unique and different. Even Mooch played the hell out of it. He's like, damn, there's something great here about
I
this
really
game.
love it. I
And
really do.
Mooch is a person who didn't go back to Gears to finish the campaign. Neither did I. Right?
Neither did I.
Exactly. So it's like it's one of those things where I guess it's like difference of opinion, but I'm not going to discount it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it deserves it more than Control. I think.
Yo,
Don't forget, Kojima. Don't
Astral
forget.
Chain. Like those are a couple games
Listen.
right there that for some rhyme or reason didn't make the cut. Like really?
Those games are okay.
Aw.
Niche. Hey, but y'all remember when Kojima? Y'all remember when?
One of a kind. It's not niche though. Right?
Y'all remember when Kojima was on Microsoft stage with Phil Spencer and all the Xbox guys hyping it up to the end?
Dry humping his leg on the side. Is that, or was that a different time? Yeah. I'm just saying.
Who's dry humping who?
Keely dry humping
Pause.
his leg, man.
Pause.
Bring it down.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
friends.
See you in the chat, bro.
They're friends. I don't have a problem with it. It's gonna win, and then it's gonna be funny to see the
Smash Brothers
meltdown.
that came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, like really?
Well, it missed
Seriously,
the
there are
the
other
cutoff
games
date.
that could have been in there.
It missed the cutoff date. So I mean, there is that.
What
know,
is
it's
the
like-
cutoff date, by the way? Because I want to get into that. But Z, try typing something in the chat.
Now, thank you. Can I borrow $1? Thank you.
Told you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm here now.
I think it was
so-
like November 15th or something like that.
So
Yeah.
wait, what's the other thing that's a bit of a controversy here, Salt? They were saying that they kind of bumped up, or they allowed having Death Stranding
year,
in.
I think the deadline. I think last year it was like a week before, and then they changed it this year to go a week later.
I got to
and then
read
Death
that to see.
Stranding fit
see
into
that.
One of the other things was Star Wars dropped on that day, but the reviews didn't come out early enough, so it got left off. It's weird that a 2018 game's in the running because no other award show really does that. You know what I'm saying?
What game was that? 2018,
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm sorry. What have we had this year? Literally, I mean, I know Resident Evil 2 stuck out, so a lot of people remake. I like what do you call it? Devil May Cry 5. Was a pretty awesome game. I know,
But is there any game that, honestly, on the panel, is there any game that you thought should have been in that was snubbed? I mean,
no.
I mean, the problem is,
3.
I tweeted about this.
I'll
There's
buy
just
that.
a lot of games that were in the mid 80s Metacritic, and you compare it to 2018 that had huge titles like Red Dead 2 and God of War and Spider-Man and this and that.
Yeah, like it's been a soft year. We had a soft year again for games. I'm just saying.
He's just saying what?
Yeah, he's just saying.
You guys hear me?
It cut out. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I've always looked at it them, and I'm just being honest. And I have yet to play that. I really don't care who wins, but and I'm not even a big Forza guy. You know this when you give, was it some Rocket League Best Racer over Forza? Like what I mean? Like
yeah. Shout out to Predator. Predator says A Plague's Tale should have been in there, and Slow-Mo says Fire Emblem, which I think a lot of people felt. I know
those two as well, man.
Fire Emblem for the Switch is. Look at even shout out to
Fire
Luca,
Emblem's
right?
too niche,
Luca
man.
bought the Switch for Fire Emblem, right? I mean, so that game's got that had a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? That
too niche, but like I said,
Wait,
even
you say Phil's on the board?
Jay said Death Stranding is a one of a kind game. That's
it is.
absolutely
It's a masterpiece. Deal with it.
Side
Deal
missions,
with it.
main missions. It's never
Deal with it. Deal with it.
But check this out though. We'll
Game of the year.
But you said Phil was on the board.
Phil is on the board. Yeah.
He's on the
So listen, one question. Can somebody give me the nominees for best multiplayer or whatever? What do they have up there?
Tetris 99. I know that's in there. Let me
Call
pull
of Duty. Hold
I'm
on.
trying to think who
I'll
else
pull it
was
up.
in the multiplayer. I don't. You have the list in
I'm
front of you,
pulling
Crab?
it up right now.
Yeah, is Tetris on? What system is that on?
Nintendo.
Oh, I'm not playing that shit.
Yeah, it's on the Switch.
I have a Switch. They don't have it on PC.
Well, come on, it's Tetris, so of course.
I like Tetris. Though. I'm just saying. I'm just not. I'm not fucking. I have a Switch and I can.
All right, so they got Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Tetris 99, and The Division 2.
A bunch of shooters. Basically, a bunch of shooters.
Oh,
I don't get how Borderlands 3 is in there. I guess multiplayer is co-op consideration.
Yeah, I don't see that. That shouldn't be in there.
Hey, listen, man. Phil grew up here. God damn, like this is bad. He Phil got to get the fuck out of here, bro.
He lost
his. He got to go.
Hey, real talk though. Tetris 99 is a better multiplayer than Gears 5.
Listen, I'm not negating. I like Tetris. Shout out to my man Big Cheese Gaming that be on Twitch getting numbers doing that shit. I'm not negating.
I played
that.
Tetris 99 more than I did Gears 5.
I like Gears. I'm a multiplayer. I'm a multiplayer guy. I like Gears. You know what I mean? But no Battlefield either.
Battlefield
was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
Hey, look, Gears didn't get shut out. It got best audio design nomination. That's something.
They got best sticker on the wall. What the fuck? Hey man, hey bro, listen man, fuck. Well, listen, we stop the show for a second.
To be fair, they only launched 2 games this year. That's Crackdown 3 and Gears.
How come? Hey, they also got best action game nomination. Woo!
Okay, but I'm just saying, bro. Can we just stop the show for a second? Xbox still here?
Yo, what up,
He's here.
What up?
Okay, listen.
Crackdown 3 didn't get nominated. I'm pissed.
Hey, yo, all due respect, I have
the category for cloud-powered multiplayer.
All due respect, I have no respect. But I told you, goddamn Phil wasn't a some dumb goy. That motherfucker wasn't the answer. He wasn't the one. He said, Neo the one. He swallowed the wrong pill. I told you that motherfucker wasn't the one. Like, bro. I'm straight now. Hashtag bring back goddamn Donnie D. Like this shit is fucked up. Bro. We gotta call spade a spade. Now fuck this whole time. Everything that we don't like. I listen.
Dashboards gonna be advertisements for other.
I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem. But at least we had games on the Donnie D.
Tampax tampons.
We had games on the Donnie D. We had games on the Donnie. We had true exclusives on the Donnie D. We had great third-party marketing deals on the Donnie D. You know what I mean? We had games. Phil has given us voodoo.
I honestly didn't hate Donnie D as much as everybody else said. I don't
He gave us
understand
games.
that.
I'm not saying he was the.
Johnny D
He was not a people. He was not a people person, right? He had no stage presence at all.
No.
But he did the deals behind the curtain, and that's all I cared about.
Yeah, that's all that I'm saying. God forbid. Let me say this. I'm gonna shut the hell up. Let me show. God forbid if Phil was to pass today, right? On his tombstone, his great accomplishments would be he took the Connect out of the fucking box. Yeah. Listen. I mean, I'm brutally honest. You know what I mean? My sobriety might be in question right now.
Game Pass. He brought out the Xbox One Pass.
Okay, he gave us a service, which is cool. I don't have a problem with the service. When it comes to games, we buy this shit for games. You know what I mean? For games. Listen, this motherfucker had the nerve to launch a $5 goddamn console next to Disney Rush, Zoom Tycoon. Might I add Xbox Enhanced? I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna shut the hell up, man. But I'm saying, that's funny for the word.
Well, it's funny. It was.
You gonna get banned again? Z.
Having this whole.
Outer Worlds is gonna win Game of the Year anyway.
Well, that's something there. So Outer Worlds is there, but it's a multi-platform. So it is what it is. But at the same time,
I said that, I played the game, and me.
What game was the multiplayer?
The Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Okay, yeah.
Now I played the game, and to me it was way too heavy on the reading. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. That felt like a book report.
But I can also see it, because when you think about it, when you're talking about Game of the Year, the game might not be for you.
Right, it doesn't have to be for me. I think it's still a top quality game. It deserves to be nominated.
I think everybody is already calling it in, Kojima and Death Stranding is going to win this thing. And
Kojima. I want to see it win just for the meltdowns, because people are going to be so pissy about that.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't care less what really wins, but if that wins, that's a lot more fun for me personally, because everybody's going to flip the fuck out. That's
it's good. It's good for entertainment.
Let me ask you guys a question. Last year's cutoff, was it the same? Was Assassin's Creed Odyssey nominated last year, or it was not? I thought it was.
I believe it was. Last year.
Okay, Sir X-Man. Shout out to Sir X-Man.
Nominated.
It was, right? Okay. Sir X-Man said, why can't that one actually do it? Sir X-Man also says, what do you guys think about Disney Plus?
Mandalorian, baby.
It's worth it for the Mandalorian.
I like it.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
it. Today's episode was really, really good. It was pretty fantastic. I like to see what they did there, but I hope that they, I'm looking more forward to the other content that they're going to bring too, because it's like I like the stuff that's on there, but it's like they need more original content, like new stuff, right?
I have it. I haven't watched it yet, though. I haven't.
I just want to say out there in the chat, I'm not saying the Outer Worlds because Microsoft this or Microsoft that or Xbox this or Xbox.
Come on, Xbox. Come on, Xbox.
Dude, I know it's a multi-plat, and I know it's by a different publisher and everything like that, but I mean, I'm just talking as far as the game is concerned, man. I don't live this console war bullshit like people do, yo.
You said this is before. This is beyond. This is below.
Hey, Xbox doesn't live this console bullshit life. But God of War sucked. Spider-Man sucked. The last sucked. Bring on Battletoads and Flight Simulator.
It takes Stadia and shove it up your ass, right? Yeah.
Xbox. He complained about chasing pigeons.
Got him.
Hey, but you are full of shit. You complain about chasing pigeons, but they have a problem chasing black pigs on fucking Sea of Thieves.
I didn't do the animal stuff, man. I was strictly out there.
Salty goes R.I.P. in the chat.
Yeah, for real.
And I'm sorry, but God of War 3 remastered so good that when it comes to the jumping and slashing.
Oh shit! He got not like this, bot.
He got his legs beat.
Hey, not like this, bot. Not like this. You got no way to
God of War 3 was my best game.
I'm up with the Kenny Rogers. No way to go. It was just the fact that I couldn't jump. You know what I mean? And, come on, God. Not like this. Not like this, baby.
Xbox Proto in the chat says, just roll with it, bot. Just roll with it.
To me, I was really looking for Spider-Man. Then I had to go out there and chase a pigeon. This motherfucker played the whole 4 hours of chasing black pigs.
It wasn't chasing just pigeons, man. It was also, you got to remember, you got to web swing through pigeons as well.
Hey, listen, you forgot when Bot got mad when I said the Kraken was like, well, technically, no one should have been under the water taking pictures. God damn, it was a little noodle in the water. It wasn't a Kraken, it was a leg. I mean, that shit, Bot, you crazy.
Trying hard to find like the glitches and stuff in that game. That's all I got.
I wasn't trying hard, bro. I just
no, you didn't do the work.
Hey, bro, I was trying to walk the plank. I was dying from burn. I went to walk the plank, and I wanted the Kraken to devour my body. It was just a noodle in the water, bro. I found that shit by accident.
Yo, Z, just like Kojima said, maybe that game just flies higher than what you expect in a game.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, so listen, real quick. Crap, you and Salt both did videos on this. I saw them. PS5's further along in development. I want to know what is it we're talking about here? What is that actually going to do? Is this the same situation again where you saw earlier in this generation? And Z, you remember this too, right?
Yes,
PS4 came out. The UI was done. They had games ready. Even though they were indies, the indies played.
Hey, we're still in beta on the Xbox UI. Six years later.
Listen, I've got 2 different Xbox Ones, and they have 2 different UIs on them. Listen, I got to be honest with you. Like, we're still, this entire generation was a beta. Crap, you're right. So, what does this mean moving forward, Crap, for the PS5?
Isn't that so funny? Isn't that so funny? Well, the PS5 is going to be like a updated PS4 one. I kind of like I didn't like it at first, but it's kind of simple and it flows faster. The Xbox one, it's like one day it's this, next day it's that. 2 days later, it could be completely different. We had Snap. Remember the original Snap? I liked that.
I did too, actually.
The suspense.
I loved it during football season. You actually could watch a game and play a game. It was great.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was like the stuff that made Xbox One unique, even though it wasn't as powerful or whatever. They took that away. Yeah, they took that away really quickly. And so I think next gen we're going to see these consoles that are going to be pretty close in power, and it's just going to come down to the games. And I feel like, much like I don't trust Google, like I feel like people aren't going to trust Xbox to deliver those great games. And why should you? Like we've gone almost a whole generation where the only games people can post positively about with a positive score are Gears, Forza, and Halo, and those are the same damn games that we get every single generation.
Well, I'll tell you some crap. I would have argued
they kind of take a step back too. Like, I didn't enjoy these 2 Gears as much as I did the original 3. I admit that I like Forza Horizon 3 might be the greatest racing game I've ever played, but even the motorsport game took a step back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And of course, Halo 5. Don't get me started with that shit.
Well, the thing is, I would normally say that what you're saying is incorrect, or maybe we should wait. But then I saw what happened inside Xbox, and when we saw that Rare and Obsidian, and everyone's like, "Well, don't worry, Mooch, just calm down," because Rare and Obsidian are going to show you they've got Team B working on something. Well, we just saw it, right? Now we saw Everwild, which is Sea of Thieves, right? Everwild is literally Sea of Thieves on land, and then there's Grounded, which is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it's cartoony. It's Saturday morning cartoons.
I mean, look at it. The first quote unquote exclusives we get from Ninja Theory and Obsidian are Grounded and Bleeding Edge, and those games look like trash. They don't look good.
I had a question. Not a question, a statement. Oh, you got a bill too. You want to play that before I even say anything? Gamer O'Malley.
Does Gamer have one? My bad. Gamer O'Malley says Kraken has no legs. You shouldn't be looking for it. Is that a quote?
Had legs, man.
Is that a quote?
Xbox said that.
Yeah, he did. Well, you guys shouldn't be under there anyway. It's
gonna come DLC, right? It's all good.
Yeah, the Kraken is involved, and I ain't lying. You motherfuckers gave me content.
Hey, don't y'all forget, but he does not participate in fanboyism and anything like that.
That's right.
But I have a question.
King Neutral is in the building right now.
I have a question. When I say theories, like you said, or this is like you said, well, there's smoke, there's fire. Before the Xbox One launched and the PS4, there were rumblings that the PS4 was more capable console than the Xbox One X, right? I'm sorry, the Xbox, right? And then the name of the site, I remember, was ReG Leaks at the time, and one developer went up there and now said it's going to become an issue where things are going to be 1080p on one console, maybe 900p. I ain't know what the fuck is 900p, and it's simple. I mean, it is what it is. And then we saw what it was, like, as far as the resolution. And shout out to Sony for playing up to that. You know what I mean? 1080p makes you a better gamer. We all know what happened, right? Sony was ingenious. Again, they lost the power narrative to the Pro and the X. There's a big difference, right? But then Sony started rolling out with their games, what made Microsoft, I guess, they look even sillier.
Not only that, but they make dynamic 4K sound better than true 4K, right?
Exactly.
But I'm just saying they made games that took advantage of their hardware. And
this is why I'm getting a PS5 day and date when it releases and not a Scarlett, because when you look at the games, God of War 2 or the next one is going to look amazing. You know that the Spider-Man is going to look great. The whatever the Naughty Dog's doing, right? These games are going to be photorealistic. And you look at the Xbox side, it's like bleeding edge and
but that's what I want to add to it. Was right? So we had the developer. I'm sorry, of God of War. What's his name again? Kratos.
David Jaffe.
David Jaffe. He was on on my show, the Best Damn Podcast. Shout out to him. I always say you'd be surprised to watch this shit, right? I want to say that he came on the show live out of nowhere. Came on the show, right? And he said, I remember even going back and forth with you guys. With Microsoft, they came out and bought the studios, right? And I used to tell you guys then, I said, well, I didn't say it this way. He said, Microsoft, I didn't think about this. Credit to him. He said, Microsoft has a poor management. They are horrible at management.
Yes, he did. Yes. That's
so,
crazy.
and if you think about this again, whether you like Destiny or not, that was in-house, right? And not saying that could have won the generation, but Destiny's arguably one of the biggest multi-plats that came out this generation, right?
That's correct.
That was in-house. And, that was one of the ribs that made Bungie wanted to leave, right? That's a fact. That's not the whole opinion. We all know this by now, but that was in-house, right? So even them acquiring these studios, right? Just think about this, right? You follow, I'm sorry, Obsidian, right? Or sorry, not Obsidian, Ninja Theory, right? Excited for them. But you let them their next game come out be Bleeding Edge or Obsidian, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you know what I mean, or even Battletoads, like you don't need another rated 60 type game like you've had.
See, don't forget those. Remember, those are supposed to be pet projects according to certain guys.
Yeah, or projects close to heart.
Their B team. Their B team is
the B team, the C team.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna say this last thing. I'm gonna say this last thing, and it's not. I'm not being messy. I'm not taking a shot at any of those guys that do those type of shows. Then you have these other, quote unquote, pro Xbox, podcasts, or whatever, and they're arguing about hardware. This one got hardware ray tracing. This one got software ray. All this other shit, right? Doesn't matter because check this shit out, right? I think it will be a political disaster if Sony come out and is more powerful, but that's neither here nor there. But what if Microsoft is more powerful? You see the type of I've never seen a company be so vocal on Twitter and all this stuff, and you saying what we want. These motherfuckers did an hour and a half show with nothing but the same, how you say, soft porn, no money shot, the same Nickelodeon, Zoo Tycoon. I seen a black man firing a roach. I'm like, my God. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on? Do you not hear us? Phil had the audacity to say that we held back on Fable to give you Bambi Simulator and this. Like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? Am I the only one that sees this? Do they not have a clue or realize, I used to say that, or what their core want, or they do, or they, how you say, they no longer care. It's not about us anymore, which is fine to say that. But don't say what we want and you can take, bro, listen, I mean, Phil has a way of throwing your ass up under the bus without throwing you, like, being nice. I asked this motherfucker live on Twitter, I said, Phil, what's up with these, type games? Art, it's been a Recall, Sea of Thieves, Zoo Tycoon. He said, well, just by chance. Bro, that's all that we're getting. Bleeding Edge and this, what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, Z. That's what I noticed. And that was kind of what was disturbing. I actually raised an eyebrow. I was like, what? We have a shot here to see what Microsoft's going to do stepping into the next generation with Rare's new IP and with Obsidian's. And when we saw it was grounded and we saw it was Everwild, I said, it looks like more of the same.
Like I said, I've been hopped on the hype train.
Listen, that's you guys didn't pay attention, right? I said it, and even Phil Spencer told you. He's like, look, these studios we're buying. He said he wanted to be more mobile. He wanted to have multiple games released each year. That's why he was buying indie and AA studios, to be mobile, to be light. All that big blockbuster AAA stuff that does not fit in Game Pass. Game Pass is the future.
if you listen to
That's
what
right.
Kareem Chaudhry said, who's like the head of their streaming
Yes.
sector or
Who was his
whatever,
name?
Kareem.
he's the Kareem
Monsters
he's the
for
guy-
breakfast guy.
Yeah, he's the monsters guy, right? It's a monster. It's that guy. So he said in his interview today, or was it yesterday, about xCloud getting exclusives or whatever, that exclusive
Kareem.
games take 18 months to 2 years to make. Like
Kareem.
that tells you that they're making smaller games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
well, it's not even spelled the same way. I think it's spelled differently.
I
But
can't trust. He sounds janky. Hey, crap. Fuck all that. You know what? Bro, listen here, right? No. Because I'm my face. You guys can see my face right now. I got like in anguish. Like I just sucked on a sour goddamn lemon. But again, like I was telling you guys, you know what? I got in a little trouble. And whatever. Like obviously, I know some people that know some people. Like their mandate is these small little games that they can put in there. Just look at what they acquired. Like the studio, and I'm gonna shut the hell up. Look at the studios they acquired, and we can be subjective or objective. What studio did they acquire can make that can go next to Sony Santa Monica, right? Or or make a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, or you know what I mean, or The Last of Us. They bought all these studios, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What studio do you expect to get some? Because that's what they're lacking.
I'm hopeful.
Well, which of their
initiative? Hey, you got a super
right.
chat there.
Yeah, I do. Shout out to Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Brap, he's in the
Shout out
chat.
to
He
you,
says,
Brap.
I want to see Death Stranding win only to watch Twitter melt and the conspiracy theorists lose their heads. J-Dub would have new content to use. I'll fill this one in for a long time.
I agree with that 100%. The thing with Microsoft is I've never seen a company so proud of their lineup next year, right? They actually think they got this incredible lineup.
Yeah.
Feels like, we've got Bleeding Edge and Flight Simulator and Ori 2 and Grounded and Tell Me Why or whatever the hell that game is. And you know what I mean? It's like we've got all these great we have so much content, we don't even need to wait for Scarlett. I mean, those are his words. And it's like you look at the content and it's like, where?
Hey, but Mooch, whoever, but my question is, who are those shows for? Are they to get the Xbox fan base excited or ecstatic, or to win new customers? Because what have they been getting teased for? These kiddie type games, right? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna retire. Listen, I'm gonna retire this statement before I get banned on Twitter again. Diabetic game, right? And all this shit. So it's all porn without the money shot. There you go, right? But if they get type of games, right? And then you do a whole and listen up. And we're not even saying all those games are exclusive because you see world premiere, and they're going to come onto the PS4.
Hey, just look at Blair Witch. How like Zaire? How many people claim that was an Xbox exclusive and put that in their list? That was their list because I remember, right? Everybody was like, Blair Witch.
Yeah, it wasn't good, right, Salt?
3 months later, it comes to PlayStation.
Let me ask you a quick. Remember, I told you guys this, and you guys maybe have called me everything but a child guy.
Yep.
What I get, and I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this into your audience. Shout out to you guys. I'm happy to be back working with my bros, and happy to be having fun. Right. Remember, I told you guys that from Nintendo and Sony, I get this. They want to stomp out. They want to win. You understand what I'm saying? For Microsoft, you don't get that. They just want to make the most money, and they just want to hand the trophy to the winner at the end of the goddamn
That's
race.
the difference, Z, when you see someone like Jim Ryan speak and Phil speak. Jim Ryan constantly, he comes out the other day and says basically, we're going to continue to have our first-party studios have the exclusive launches and VIP treatment that they deserve. And then you don't have, Phil doesn't have that. And then to go back to the other point you just said a second ago when you said, look at all the new acquisitions, all the teams that were acquired by Microsoft. You can list all of them. Is there any of the new 7 that were acquired or 8 that were acquired that even compare to Insomniac? No.
And the initiative can't keep staff at all.
No, they can't.
The lead head keep leaving, like 3 people. And
I want to tweet out to them. I want to be like, stop talking about the hiring and show a clip. Go ahead, Salt.
I just want to take this from a different perspective.
Yeah.
I just think it doesn't really matter who has the power next generation, because I think we've pretty much topped out on resolution.
I agree.
We're gonna be gaming in 4K, right?
Completely
The average
agree.
consumer doesn't even know what 4K is if you ask them. And then you get into ray tracing. That's even further down the rabbit hole. They couldn't even give a shit about that. But this generation's taught me a lesson. It's because I hopped into the PlayStation way too late. But it doesn't matter how much power you have if you don't take advantage of it. The thing is, if you don't have developers that can code for a game in a way to make that game max out the
Yes.
potential, then it doesn't matter. Because I played God of War on the PlayStation Slim, and that looked better than anything I played on the Xbox One X.
Exactly.
So
Thank you. Facts.
Does it matter next gen if the Scarlett's more powerful? No, because it comes down to the talent of the developers, how much time they're given, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just plain and simple, right?
I'm not sure what Rome Rush is trying to say in the chat, but Rome says I agree 100%. Xbox is going after their own market now, like Nintendo. So
they're going after like the more casual market. I think like
2 billion gamers. 2 billion gamers.
2 billion.
Hey, yo, did you guys have the developer or somebody from Rare on your?
Yeah, me and Mooch interviewed
Craig Duncan,
the head of Rare. Yeah.
Okay, but you guys missed something. I don't know if you missed it or not. Something key that they said just down to the art style that it's easy for them to port shit like that down to mobile.
Yeah, that's correct.
And and so like again, like so let's say them living in their own echo chamber. And I'm not, for those who just saying we make this thing. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with those type. I like Sunset Overdrive, but this is all that they're giving us. You know what I mean? So
well, the funny thing is, it's hard to hide it anymore because after XO, people took the screenshots from all the games they announced, and they're all like these like cartoony type games. There's like nothing in there that's anything real. Hey Z, would you admit this? Remember that 2017 E3 where that was the year that we got the Xbox One X? Remember they showed the beginning to Forza Motorsport 7, and we all thought it was a new game. We got faked out on that, and we were so pissed off. We were like, why are they like, this is such a realistic, such amazing looking thing, why is it a fucking racing game? And then the same thing happened with this flight simulator, right? We see this big world and everything, and it's like flight simulator, and you're just like, what the hell are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, damn.
But again, so I asked, but again, like I said, either they no longer know what their core want, or they don't care. I said this. Number said hello. I said that maybe they're going after that pre-Nintendo crowd, and they're gonna now Sony kind of leans on third party to handle their multiplayer, whatever. It might be Microsoft is gonna lean on third party to handle their mature content, and this is what they're going to do. You know what I mean? Just it sucks to say that. You know what I mean? But how you say? I'm just going by their track record. And listen, if they don't bullshit, look at what they released since. You say Recore, Voodoo Vince, CFD, or say Vandal original Acid, Disney Ruts, and why would you need Disney Ruts Xbox One enhanced? Like, you know what I mean? Just listen. I mean, at the end of the day, like, so they've all been this one type of art style. Then you have a 2-hour hour and a half show with the same shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm sitting back scratching my head, like, what the hell is the end game here? You know what I mean?
Like that takes away a reason to buy the Scarlett, because you're like, what games are they going to have? Look, I can play Halo Infinite on my X, and it's probably going to play and look pretty fine. You know what I mean? It's going to play great. So there's not really that reason to upgrade, where you have Jim Ryan on the other hand going, we want people to upgrade faster than they ever have before from PS4 to PS5. That means to me that very quickly there's going to be PS5 only exclusives, right? Like you're not going to be able to play them anywhere else. And that's intriguing to me. Like, take advantage of the hardware. I don't want to be playing a game, and the Don had to bounce, but I don't want to be playing a game on a 14 T-flop Scarlett that can also be played the same exact game on the launched 1.3 T-flop Xbox One. Because despite the fact that there is a such thing as game scaling, I understand it. I'm not an idiot. There still comes a cutoff point, even with PCs. There's a minimum spec cutoff point. Like, I have to believe that there shouldn't be no way in hell that Halo Infinite should run on an original Xbox One. Like, I don't understand that.
Even better, right? All that's well and good, scaling up, but it would never beat hardware. It would never, even say if the Scarlett is more powerful than the X, right? I mean, than the PS5, right? Microsoft is not even coding for their console first. They're coding for PC. Then the Scarlett, then the Pro, then this, and where with Sony again, I'm not saying they're not going to do no crossing development for the PS4 and 5 or whatever. Fine, I get it. Until the generation moves on, but they're just going to be coding just for that moving forward. I give you an example. We can go by art styles, but look, remember when they showed The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, we had the argument. That got to be the PS5. When they showed Halo Infinite, no one scratched their head, and I'm not a big Halo guy, but I can be subjective or objective and say, God damn, that's next generation. But when they showed again The Last of Us 2, we had debate. Oh, that got to be a PS5 dev kit. No way in hell. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not.
Well, let me ask this question to Z and to J Dubs real quick, because you guys, PS PlayStation question here. Are we looking at what we think might be a complete and utter like deja vu of PS4? Is the PS5 going to be a lot of indie games and all that shit to start the generation again? That's why they kind of put Yoshida out there, because he's the strength.
And third-party deals.
And third-party deals, yeah, absolutely. Z.
No one's gonna have their big bangers at first. They come on out.
Yeah,
with
but
Halo.
like Halo. They got Halo. They're probably gonna have Forza.
Yeah, but again, you don't need a what do you call it? The Scarlett to play that, right? Let's be clear.
No, you don't. Right? No, you don't.
But Sony's gonna do what Sony. But it's crazy as hell. Sad to say that you're gonna get a sequel to God of War. He said, you're gonna get a sequel to Spider-Man.
Yep.
You're going to get a sequel to The Last of Us.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
People are going to buy PS5 day one, specifically for the fact, even if the games aren't there day one, is because they know that those sequels are coming. They know that those sequels are coming. And then on top of that, right, how much better is God of War or Spider-Man or Death Stranding or Uncharted and the rest of those games going to run on the PS5? Listen, and that's the thing about it, right? It's really sad because we really do need everyone to day one go out to support Scarlett, to go out and support PS5. But at the end of the day, can you justify spending another $500 to $600 on the console, knowing the type of games you have coming on the Xbox? Now, mind you, Halo Infinite is going to be on PC. It'll be on the X. It's going to look great on the X. I get it. It's going to be. I know it's going to play good on your X. They have yet to show us anything that's going to amaze us. But they showed us a trailer. Wait, listen.
This is depressing.
Listen.
This is
the mere fact that they showed us a trailer of The Last of Us 2 and our jaws dropped and the internet broke for a day lets you know that people will be lining up around the corner to get
pre-orders broke records.
You got a super chat.
Surex Man, I was just gonna say Surex Man. This kind of ties into right. Good old Surex Man here. Surex Man. He says, "I want Microsoft to be cutthroat. These new developers, right? That bought. He goes that they bought. Don't make these games for other consoles because it's only bought these developers. They wouldn't give you none of those games. Basically, what Surex Man's saying is, if you buy these developers, keep it on your platform.
But here's the thing, right? The problem is, and I've also said, the stuff is so good at making money, and they own so much stuff. The fact, even with the Psychonauts too, right? They bought back the publishing and still released it on PlayStation. Or still going to release it on the PlayStation, right? You know what I mean? So even in far as that, and it's not, and again, sad to say, like they don't look at it as us old school NPD sales. Microsoft wants to make the most fucking money, and you know what I mean. And what's and how you say?
I mean, look, they put that shitty State of Decay 2 on Steam today. They don't care. Like I said, it's sad to say is they just know their how you say. I'm buying their $500 box, right? But listen, what I'm saying, they're making Infinite for PC first, right? It's a fact, and then they're going to scale it down to my box. Not the other way around. They're not going to make it on the Scarlett first for that, then maybe scale it up with the software. They're going to make it run as pretty as they want to look there, then scale the motherfucker down. And again, that in itself is a fucking a slap in the face. Like it really is.
Phil already said it, right? Nobody can dispute this. Phil said, we want you to play anywhere and everywhere. That was enough justification right there to give a lot of people pause and like, look, you're supposed to be trying to sell me, and you're telling me that you're okay with, like, what are we doing here? That means you don't care. And guess what? If you don't care, my money is going to be on the guys who do care. And I have a feeling that day one is going to be a slaughter fest. It's going to be so lopsided. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and
nobody is preserving anything and waiting to actually see the launch lineup for the new hardware.
We've been waiting.
Nobody.
Hey, Bob, who Bob? Who you? Bob, you my brother.
Both.
Bob, come on, Bob. How you say, come on, Rambo? The war's over. He said, mother, I just wanted something to eat, Bob. Who's gonna come down from the mountain with the damage?
Z, to me, even the beginning of this generation, right? When it came down to it, I was not dedicated to one system or the other.
I understand that.
I wanted to see exactly what was coming
Listen,
out.
listen,
I wanted
but
to see launch lineup. I wanted to see.
I understand that, but I'm asking you, good brother, my friend. You know, we go way back.
Let's do this.
Who is going to be the second savior? You know what I mean? You're gonna have Forza. You're gonna have Halo at the launch or whatever. Who is gonna get this game from? From who? From where? What developer?
How many studios do they have? I think there's a lot more for them to show when it comes down to it. And
showing is different. All right, so
we say
we are around the corner. We are right around the corner.
Composing games.
Of them showing
all right.
A launch lineup along with the hardware. A complete set of features for each.
All right.
And nobody is like reserving.
Okay, no, but I'm just saying. But composing games. The creators of We Happy Few.
Obsidian could possibly be a game of the year.
You did.
But
we got Obsidian.
Let's be clear though. Obsidian, like Microsoft, might not even have okayed that game if they would have owned them when they had that idea or whatever.
You can say might and maybe and
okay,
but
first of all, there's no microtransactions or online. That doesn't fit their narrative.
Okay, but that's now. We already got Obsidian, but we talking about a year from now. And
that's why their next game they're hiring people who know how to deal with multiplayer.
Not a problem. Just let me say this shit. You got the chats too. All right, a year from now, they are the one that's saying they're not dealing with generation, right?
Right.
So what stopped them from showing us or peeking to the future now? What,
dude? And that was and one of the things that happened at XO.
You sound like a politician now.
Where
they were good games on many sides.
I was excited because Crap knows this. I've been in the same boat with Crap on this. When it comes to announcing things, with Phil's whole 18-month thing doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
He's already proved that that's not happening.
They showed
Everwild that XO, and that's
they showed Everwild, which could be, but like it's like this. I think that Phil Spencer, the reason why he said that was because he literally didn't have anything to show, right? Like we see with Everwild. Like Everwild is literally in pre-production, right?
Yeah.
And they showed a CGI for that. Yeah. But the thing is this, you're talking about launch lineups. You have to take into account that this is a different world now for Microsoft where Game Pass has to have something in it throughout that first year. So I don't think Forza Motorsport is going to launch with it. I think it'll launch in the first. Yeah, I think it's going to launch sometime in 2021.
Right.
And they're going to have that, they'll be like, they'll be like play Halo. Like Phil thinks Halo's still like this huge deal. He's gonna be like play Halo at launch. It's gonna be great, and there might be one smaller other title or whatever. And then they're gonna be like, in April or May play Forza Motorsport, and then in November play Bleeding Edge Remix.
But I'm just saying, but you can't even say they don't stick to that thing 18 months. We saw Halo how long ago?
A year and a half ago.
Here's the deal. The writing's already on the wall. Okay,
yeah, that was a year and a half ago.
Xbox has said what they're gonna have, right? Halo is gonna be that launch lineup, that game that comes out, and all these other studios aren't putting games out until 2021, 2022, 2023, dude.
Right.
So people that think the initiative's popping a game out for launch, no, that's not happening.
No way.
Yeah,
Playground's
they're still hiring
people. Playground's not getting their game out till 2022, 2023, dude. Yeah. All these
careful. I said this shit salty, and I got accused of being a a fearmonger and a
fearmonger
else too. Yeah,
I've been called the same things, but Game Pass needs games, so that's why they're putting out the smaller titles.
Yeah,
that's why we got Gears 5.
Come on, Salty, stop fearmongering.
There's no gap till Halo. The next Halo comes out, right?
Shout out to shout out to Phil Pyromancer. He says we are the generation forgotten, baby. We are the generation forgotten by Microsoft. This next gen in their eyes are for the Fortnite generation.
God damn.
And then Sir X-Man says that's what's only we're going to see from Alan Wake 2, Sunset Overdrive 2. They won't be on the Sony's, I think you mean platform, not going to share, and that's a fact. I think what he's saying basically is Alan Wake 2 possibly and Sunset Overdrive 2 because of Insomniac.
Well,
Shout out to Sir X-Man. Thank you.
According to a lot of people, Sunset Overdrive was absolute trash.
Don't worry about it.
Nobody.
Yeah, shout out to Carlos Crest when he said, "Hey, crap, I'm world premiere."
Hold on. World premiere.
Yeah, but
console exclusive.
Hey, but I ain't gonna lie, man.
For 2 months.
I wish I shared your same optimism brother. You know what I mean?
Well,
But,
we're gonna get into a little bit more one-on-one, like later.
oh yeah, I do. Yeah, listen, trust me. I can't wait. You said Sunday, right? Sunday.
Yeah,
You said
Sunday.
All right, no, I'm gonna put your ass in a red chokehold. I got you Sunday, right? but I'm just saying, but it,
Yo,
you know,
I'm a squirmy Italian, man.
you got it, man. But I'm just sad to say, like at the end of the day, like that was, when me and Mooch talked. You guys can see the one-on-one with me and Mooch.
Yeah, it was a great show.
I gotta go make your feet my head, but I say that to see this, right? It's sad to say that guys like me or us, just the core of us, it changed our perception of Microsoft and no longer have faith in that. It's crazy as hell. Me and the bro. Listen, a lot of this, 90% of the slogans you guys say, "Be the behemoth," Sony, Pony, and this, that, and the other. All that shit came from my janky black ass, right? And for me to be looking at them like, bro, what, like, you know what I mean? Like, how the hell did we get here? Like,
Phil is not the guy. He was never the guy. He was only the guy to transition Xbox from what it was over to a services platform. What Satya Nadella wanted.
Yeah, he's Satya's right hand. That's basically what it is. Satya is really the leader here. When they said that, I said this on Z's show, and I'll say it again right here. When people say Phil Spencer saved Xbox, you guys have to understand that is actually a true statement because he agreed to do what Satya wanted. Satya said, "How do we make Xbox make money for us? You have to use our services, and Azure is their number one moneymaker." So he had to incorporate the Xbox plan into Azure. That's just the way it was going to work. Or all those rumors we heard when Bill Gates was doing interviews early this generation, and they were asking him, "Where's rumors going around that Xbox might get sold off?" He said, "Well, that's possible because the thing is if it didn't make a change like they did now." Then they were not going to. They possibly were not going to hold on to it.
Phil also said they discussed not having a new a console in regards to Scarlett. He said
that's true. That's true.
I mean.
Scarlett is going to be the last console.
I probably think so.
That's basically what he was saying.
But you know what?
They barely eked out the Scarlett this generation. They barely decided to do that, and that is crazy.
Hey, Mooch, the time has come today.
It has come. It is 9 o'clock. His crap will definitely let me know. He's our Big Ben. Listen, I gotta be honest with you guys.
Can't get it.
No, this is gonna be. This one's on the air, so no need for DMs, folks. Outstanding show. I do want to do outros though, because everybody on this show was absolute fire. The chat was fantastic. Thank you to everybody in the super chat.
Hey, Buck Rogers said his Xbox 448 Hulk Hogan because he sure says brother as much as he does.
Brother.
Hey, brother. Listen, brother. We got Xbox is the best box, brother. We got to believe in Phil. He's so handsome.
Bro.
I wish he would buy a vape from me.
I don't have this thing about Phil like that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Shit me.
Hey, there are people around there, though, that think that. I'm just saying, right? Oh my God, Phil Spencer!
Leg on you, brother.
Yeah, let me throw my man panties at you.
Let's do outros real quick. Salt, thanks for being here tonight, buddy. I totally appreciate it. This is one of those. This is an old school. It was kind of like BGST ran right through CrossFire. It was fantastic. I loved it. But Salt, thanks for being here tonight, buddy. And let people know where they can find you.
Twitch.tv/Salty Gaming. That's it.
Yes. Love it. Check Salt out. He's always on there. Then I've got J-Dub City. Yo, Jay, thanks for being here again tonight, man. It's nice to get, like, both sides of the coin. And a lot of people, I'll be honest with you. Same thing with me earlier, Z, crap. People think that we're just, like, one-sided and one-minded, and that's not the truth. I've been talking a lot to Jay. Jay's, like, he's very open, and people don't realize he originally was an Xbox guy. People don't really realize that. So, Jay, let everybody know where they can find you, man. Thanks for being here.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you guys know where to find me on Twitter at JDubCity16, trying to keep you guys laughing, the gifts and the means. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, Jay. Thank you so much. And then my brother, the Zodfather, Z. Yo, let me tell you something. This was a crossover takeover, and I love that you did that, buddy. Z, thanks for being here, and I hope to God you'll come back on real soon, man. This was an absolute treat. The audience loved it. I loved it, to be real with you.
I had fun. Just whenever you need me, my janky ass is and he read it. I mean, but
keep an eye on that DM, man, because I'm gonna be hitting you up.
Yeah, but listen, I'm going live on Twitch at the feed. If you like, I've always got a show, but anyway, I'll be live.
Sea of Thieves, man. What do you?
Hell no. I'll be live. There's a link there. Come on, Twitch. We're gonna be rocking out and having a great time. But again, thank you guys for having me. You don't need to subscribe to the channel if you don't know. Shout out to 9 Lives 2010. I said you were banned You've been forgiven for your sins, whatever you did. I had fun.
Awesome, Z. Thank you so
What
much.
happened to Tim? Did Tim never got back in? What happened to Tim?
Tim's coming on next. Tim literally we could not connect him through the Discord. When you were telling me that whole thing you were going through, I'm also trying to get him through the
He's
Discord.
probably
I'm
streaming
going crazy.
xCloud as we speak, and that's a problem.
He says too much anti-Xbox shit up here.
He said he'll make it up and be back on next week. So shout out to Tim Dog too, absolutely.
For sure.
And then I've got Xbot 448. Xbot brother, what do you got going on this weekend?
Well, first off, I want to give a shout out to Stick Figure and all the supporters of my channel in this chat. Thank you guys so much. I had an absolute blast on tonight's show, Mooch. Great putting everything together, man. And
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was
come
funny.
to my channel tomorrow. Check out next podcast. We are going in hardcore on the topics tomorrow, 7 p.m. My channel, Xbot 448, and that's it.
Appreciate that, Xbot. And last but certainly not least, the Crap Gamer, who always lets me know when it's time to go crap. Let people know where they can find you.
Albino Rhino.
Crap Gamer Reviews. Albino Rhino. Pony Leg Breaker Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
Master of Disaster. The most compelling game-related YouTuber. I can remember Zaire tells me, he goes, one time my grandma heard you saying, was like, who's that asshole?
Listen, tomorrow. Look, me.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a one-on-one with Z tomorrow around 3
o'clock.
3
Yeah,
p.m.
check that
Eastern.
out,
Yeah,
guys.
so.
I'll be definitely promoting that. Guys, check it out. Actually, he's doing a whole series of one-on-one. He did myself. He's got Tim Dog. He's got Crap Gamer. He's doing everybody. Rand. A lot of bunch of people are going to be on there. It's going to be a great show. Z, I'll definitely cross-promote that. Guys, enjoy your Friday night. We'll be back next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, everybody, and peace out. Shout out to Jay the Matrix Gamer. His information's on the screen as we speak. Peace out, everybody.
Hit the like button. Subscribe.
Come on, with the trip. Dope shit. Dope hat.